Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for November 16, 2021. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com, and we're going to scroll down and look for this Zoom banner. If you would like to be part of Cathy's SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, all the information right here is to register. We're going to start here by clicking here. This will take us over to the Zoom platform where I will click here and the call will be live. So please prepare your speakers.
And we had some wonderful other information that came in yesterday. Let me get up here. So I'll send this out. From Deb Taylor sent some additional links. I am that I am, align with higher self. Every day I'm getting better and better. And then we had a few codes that yesterday, or a few comments, a few statements that didn't have any codes. Now we do have those, and I've doused that in to our group. As I get these things, I douse them in. Ron, this is pretty cool. Say every day, I expect great things today. I expect great things tomorrow. I expect great things for the rest of this week. Thank you. And that gratitude is huge.
I was wondering if you had that on, if you got it.
Yeah, I love it. And then thank you, Kevin, for sending that link. I don't see what you guys post on my end, so I really appreciate it when you send it to me. Here are the thoughts from that article on the traditional Chinese medicine versus the Western. I thought, let's take a closer look. I don't know how many of you had time to look at it, but the obvious, and I talked with a friend this morning who's a massage therapist, and she said in her training, this Chinese medicine was a huge focus. And so we see that it focuses on the non-physical along with the physical, and we know that the non-physical is really where it's at. That's 99.9 of what's happening. And so just a few thoughts. We know that the balance of the yin-yang and the 5 elements are supposedly the core concepts. And I've added this for you to take a closer look. But then this image, this 5 elements image, I was playing around, and we've got a 95% benefit of this image in the field generator. So you can paste that in. Let's just see where we are at this moment in time with it. I was a little surprised at that. Let's just see what we've got.
If I could interject that graphic that you have there, I use when I do, like, when I go out to do a feng shui consultation.
Awesome.
Because a lot of times there'll be too much of something in one of the corners, and it's fascinating how when you have a placement of something, it causes friction. Like when you have fire across from water, that causes like bickering in the household.
Really? Yeah. That is, yeah. And look at this. We're asking for 22 hours. So again, I just want to go up to the top. We had a couple people join us just now, giving thanks to Deb Taylor for these codes. We've got a few more codes from yesterday that at that point didn't have a code, just a statement. And then this statement from Ron, which is very interesting. And we're going over this link from yesterday that Kevin sent. And so, yeah, this 5 elements, you can just simply click to the right and click copy image. Of course, it's not want to do it now, but it does it. And hope my computer is going to behave. And there was a 95% benefit of adding that image to the field generator. And then we go into what they call the 5 fundamental substances. Now, our computer is all set up to do all this for us. But as a group, I think we're more interested in some of the dynamics of it. And it's true that every time we learn something new, the neurons in the brain get a little closer and our consciousness rises. I just was doing a little playing around with this. I'm going to give you some thoughts on it. Go back down here first. there are several elements. Let me just quickly show you. We are still running from yesterday. So let's just let that go. And then I pulled up a new. And let's just look at things a little differently. Let's first of all see where we are with these 5 elements. First, we've got actuation. Let's just see where we are. I played around with this a little bit last night with a couple of people that were having trouble identifying exactly, pinpointing. So we see a little stress related to actuation. That's your chi and your blood. So in other words, is it moving through? Is it moving through? So at this point, when you see something like that, you see that kind of stress. In fact, I'm going to put it a different way. Stress related to actuation. Look at that. I want to put it a negative. Bear with me. Okay, so let's take that down, put it in the Gong, and then we do have a good charge for that. And if you have any other modalities at home, I think the beamer is good to move chi and blood. And what else have we got? What is that thing? Your chi machine that puts your feet back and forth. And then we also have a charge in here. And this one takes a little while to load.
And there's the miracle mat.
Oh, yes, the miracle mat. Yes, duh. Thank you. Now, this is going to take a little while to load because I put the image in with it, so we'll just come back to that. But you get some information there. Let's look at stress related to warming. And again, may not be that anything is negative, but we are looking at the level of stress. A little more stress with that.
Yesterday on the Zoom call, I had brought up about, I can't remember who started the conversation, but it's about putting energy into things. And like with my prayer beads, I will run them in the SRC to clear them or to charge them. And it's the same with the miracle mat, same concept. It's just, I found it funny because I got it from you. Remember when you used to wear your bangles? And
yes.
you said that you would put them in the SRC to charge them. That's where I got the idea from, was from your bangles.
And then I got out of the habit of doing it, so thank you. That's always good. Again, we've got a little stress related to regulation of temperature right now. We just got it, the awareness. I don't know why this. But we've got some cold hands and cold feet or whatever. And again, based on the movement through our body, let's look at stress related to defense. At this moment in time, that number isn't as high, and this is pure energy, just working with the blueprint.
I was happy to see Susan Mason on the Zoom yesterday.
Yeah, I need to get caught up. How do we see the replay? Anybody know?
Yeah, he's going to put it up.
Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, it'll be on his bit shoot.
Oh, good. Okay. Now look at that. Stress related to containment. Let's look at that. So that's preventing excessive drainage of different body fluids. So that gives us, I don't know, my little copy thing doesn't want to work as well today. There we go. And then transformation. For example, yesterday I had someone who really has had a bug and nothing has cleared it, including endless rounds of drip, antibiotics, etc. And her challenge was first and foremost defense, and then second, this transformation, not able to convert all this. So if you look at that, you get your information, and then you can move up here. And you see your 5 fundamental substances, and you can see that outlined in your 5 elements. So what was our top? I think it was containment. All right. So let's go in here. Let's just see which of these includes your elements here as well. So looking at these, we could go farther with our charger. We already are going to be doing a blood and qi charge. We could look at the body fluids, and you saw the low number with the Jing. What did I leave? I left one up now. Wait a minute. I'll have to look back at the article. And then Zhang Fu is your organs. And what you can do, you have some great images in that article, which you could go, I give you a quick example. You could go into your dispenser. Well, there we go.
Are you saying? Okay.
You could add that image for your Zhang organs. And see what we've got.
Yeah, I like that.
And I did have someone yesterday that ran like, I can't tell you how many hours with this. We're taking 16 hours, my goodness. So let's do it. And then you also, and again, just thoughts, sharing thoughts here. Let's go into where's mine? In a second. Thought I also added this to the acupuncture, but it sure does. I'm gonna get down there. Yeah, I know I added food organs to something. Maybe it was both to the dispenser. So I'll go back and do that later. I don't have the image in front of me, but you get. Pardon?
It didn't go in, did they?
I didn't have it. No, I thought I had that loaded in the acupuncture as well, but it wasn't in there. But you can take these images and test for. I like to test for priority for Qi. So, for example, I'd already tested that the Zhang image was very beneficial. We're highly benefited or thrown off by images. They say, I've said this 100 times, they say in watching television, probably extends to the computer as well, 30 seconds and the programming starts from the images flashing at us. So you can do so much with your images, even the supplements. Very often, if you test for benefit, a lot of the times the images are powerful. So you can go through here. For example, we probably got that. Hey, that stopped running there. That I probably should go in there and take that image out. It takes a while to load. Let's put 1 minute charge.
Cathy, where can we get the images from?
It's right in that link from yesterday in the email sent out. Kevin sent it to us.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you've got it right in there. Just click that link. I just got to thinking, it was such interesting information. Look at that. 1 minute, all we need. Let's do it. 99% benefit. So there's a lot of good work here that we can do if we choose to do it. In fact, let's go in here. Oh, all right. And also yesterday, it took us 3 go-arounds to activate cosmic and elemental energies to align with the power of God. Took us 3 times. Let's copy that so we can delete it and put it back in. So this little evaluate relations comes up. Let's take it down a notch. While we're at it, Rider for Qi Align cocktail. We've got several good ones in here. Do we need it? We'll use it, yeah. So let's go in here.
Is that right? Anything over 50, right?
Well, I do 70, but everyone will follow their own. And you don't even need to do that. Your body, your energy will work with whatever you send. I like that 70 number. I don't know why. We did this one yesterday, aligned with higher self. Here are some cocktails in it. This yin yang is the key, probably. And so here's the cocktails we have. And then we actually did give something under 1,000 today, which was a deeper scan. So quickly, let's look first at what we've got here, and then I'll show you that. And I'll go through during the day to see if we need any more energy related entities in the form of a charge. In fact, let's have a little fun here. I think it's fun anyway. Now we don't want it, but that you can put your whole body in and the code for the Fountain of Youth if it resonates. Now we've been working a lot with skin, and we have that save session now for skin. Let's see, priority, saved, skin. Remember, the idea is to follow your instinct. You're in the middle of a matrix of wisdom. So you really don't even need to do all these scans. I'm comfortable with them. I like to test, but follow your intuition. Kidney, let's just look and make sure. Priority, chi, kidney, charge. Nope. Wonder click is going to, or whatever we hit is going to do it. Strengthen. See if we are interested in the pathogen panel. We took a bunch of charges yesterday for that strep bacteria. They say the chakras are what they have to be spinning correctly in order to pull that information in that surrounds us. No, we're doing good here. I don't know that that's the right terminology. Now this spiritual, let's see. That can cover a wide range. Let's see. No?
Oh, you look for 70, huh?
I personally do, but it's everybody will be different. Hey, look at that. And this, in reference to that, also, let me show you. Let's do this first.
Well, I had something come up the other day. It came up to 100.
Wow. You know then you've got a message. So let's do 1 minute. Okay, we don't want 5 minutes on that. And another, it's going to take a while to load. Another interesting idea, now my brain went dead. I think you've got the orbit that goes around your body from the conceptional and the governing vessel. And they say that needs to be flowing in order to maintain, I think it's the microcosmic orbit stress. Just see what we've got there, that would involve that, again, all subtle energy. Let's look where we are. Not high, but you could go in here now. Let's see. Okay, so we're looking at our recharger today. We'll just go forward and see. Well, you could go in. Since a lot of this stress seems to be related to the flow of our chi. No, doesn't look like that's what we're looking for. Synchronization. That is, they say, what happens when you are in tune with your higher self and that higher energy that surrounds you. See where we are with that. And a little bit of stress there, we could add that. How to up our liquid intake. Blockages. Let's look if perhaps, look at the recharger. The clear blockages. Nine minutes, that may not be it. It won't hurt.
Say that again.
That only 9 minutes to clear blockages, but 9 minutes, it won't hurt. That's not the key, but I was just looking. Liver. Stress related liver. Are we ready? Okay. Did we already do the conceptual vessel charge? Our test?
Yeah.
5 minutes we wanted, yeah. All right. Anyway, so going down, you get more ideas. Lymphatic is another area that some of us ignore. And they say that's basically your trash cans. You want to clear that. No. We are seeing a lot of kidney stress, even though we didn't go further with it. Projection, affronted. Okay, we've got the chemical stress. And we do have this in-depth chemical scan that we got from Dr. Kersey. Do we need it today? Not necessarily. Let's see, do we want any kind of charge to clear that stress? Yeah, we'll take that. So, that'll be on the list. Words to ponder. A committee is a group of people who individually can do nothing, but as a group decide that nothing can be done. Makes a lot of sense. Compliance, humbled, aloofness, jittery. Let's look at that. Hate. This Moses Code talks about a lot about the ego versus the. In fact, let's just go into the recharger with the ego versus the soul. So if you do that reading, and again, it's not for everybody. Let's just see what we say with that. 20 minutes.
Cathy, the Moses Code that you're reading seems to be much more in depth than what I had seen. I saw a PDF that was only 30 pages, and it was pretty short and simple.
Yeah, this book, it looks like, and look at that stress, by the way, related to, and I don't know that that's our group or it's picking up from the collective. But yeah, this book, I'll bring it tomorrow and hold it up, but it's a much fatter book. I'd say it's a couple hundred pages.
Oh my.
And what he's doing is, because I hadn't read the first one, never heard of it, but what he's doing is saying that this is the time that we need to understand that we are one with God. And he takes you through the first half and gives you some exercises. And I may have, I need to look over those exercises again myself. I think I said yesterday we would say, I am that I am. It may not be that you start that way. It may be you start with I am that. I don't know. I need to look at it again. I want to read the whole book. But he takes you through that first half. And he says, now, if you don't want to go farther, that's fine. But if you're going to focus, use this information just to get yourself things, material things, you're still going to end up dissatisfied. So now I think he's going into this second half, his concept that it's time to do some work for others. And so that it's quite a book. I love it. And I'm wondering how we can incorporate it with our power group, because it resonates with me, but it may not with everybody.
Hey, Cathy.
Yeah.
I found two of them on a thrift book by the Moses Code by James Timon. Is that the one?
Well, there are two. Yeah.
Okay, that one is a $549. But it's a 2010 edition. And then he has, they have one now that is a May 2021 that has 256 pages.
Yeah, let me go get the book real quickly.
Okay, that'll work. I just wondered which one is the one that we would be interested in. Does anybody have it? While she's looking for it, does anybody else have it that we can go through?
What's the name of the book?
The Moses Code. Moses, that comes from Exodus. And I'm very familiar with Exodus from the Old Testament. So that's why I would be interested in this book that this man has written. Based on Moses.
Thank you.
2021 costs $15.46 on a thrift book.
Good. This is it. It is. It looks. This one, the one I have,
That's
is
the one.
Yeah, 221 pages, and it's It says revised and updated.
Right. So that's 2021.
Yeah, and he's basically saying if we don't get it together, we might have some bigger stress than we ever imagined.
Well, yes. Well, the basics is that is you do for others and not for yourself.
I think that is the basics, but I think
come down to that you give instead of receiving, you're giving. That's the gist of that. I understand.
Yeah, but I think it's more than that. It's that we have the ability to do it.
Right.
Which,
right.
We may have not acknowledged. Okay, here now we're up a little
Cathy,
higher.
Can I just ask a question on the book? Is that one by James Kleiman?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them are. The one 2010, and then this one 2021 was the revised.
Okay, great, thanks.
This one had like 200 pages, 200 and some, and then this one has more pages, 256 pages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the mantras that I say from time to time is, I am one with God and God is one with me.
Yes.
Yes.
So this book kind of resonates when you say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's somebody else was about to say something.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Get my little headset squared away. Okay, so we want chemical and also a charge in reference to degeneration. Brain charges can get interesting. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at that again. Always interesting. Not high. And personally, like I said before, I think when they refer to curse, they might mean collective thought. They might mean some of the thoughts that were downloaded into us from our past lives. And I already had checked this morning before we got started. Did we want it to clear any non-beneficial past life thoughts? And that did not resonate. If men were pregnant, women would rule the world. That's interesting. Spite, promote memory, receptive to reason, subdued, irritate. Lots of this irritation stuff and all coming up. And then it boils down to the girdle meridian, which probably is at least as significant as our brain. So again, we haven't seen anything with the recharger that was, we're asking up much for. Let's just do recharge girdle meridian, generate. Nope. Why don't we just go in? Just start with a balance of the whole body. And just go through that as the day progresses. So we see now for the deeper scan, which we requested, we actually wanted the affirmations. And this was the affirmation we wanted. I love and honor everything I create, which is an interesting thought. And then here, for those of you that don't have this scanning list, here it is. And this has the radionics rates with it. So you don't have to scan, you can just choose one. But this is what we chose, from a scan. Let's see how we are doing with that. And I found it interesting that one came up since we're talking about this type of thing. We're kind of up there, not where we could be, but we have great potential with it. Let's just see. Would it be of any assistance to have that in the shin? Not necessarily. Not a charge. Could we put the Grab-A-Boy in? The other day I was talking with Ray Foley and he reminded me I don't have to, let's say it says 3 times, and that looks good, 3 times. I don't have to literally put it in 3 times. The little 3X and statement takes care of it. The computer's going to do it for us.
Say that again?
Yeah, can you tell us something?
Yeah, you know how we'll ask for something that with the Tesla thought, every now and then we resonate with high benefit of putting a statement in 3, 6, or 9 times, which I've been doing, every time separately, 3, 6, or 9. Ray reminded me, just put the little number in front like 3 times in the statement and put that in. You don't have to keep doing it over and over. The computer will process it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it sort of feels like cheating.
I know it. The only thing that I still believe, if you're doing your affirmations every morning or at some point during the day, I do think the typing it out 10 times, because that's a motor skill. They say the more senses you use and tie in with your affirmations, the more powerful they'll be. But I kind of liked what he said about the other, I guess, mainly because I don't like to do all that typing. But you can do it whichever way feels best.
Are you talking about making affirmations on the SRC or verbal?
Yes, and you look at the screencast I sent in a few emails back as an example, but that's what I woke up with on 11/11, not realizing the significance of the date right then, but was, why don't we type our affirmations in our P4 every day? And especially now we could tie it in with the Moses Code and see what happens. I know back in the 70s when I learned about affirmations, it totally changed my life. At that point, I wrote them, and that's kind of what got me into energy, because I had to know how it worked. It wasn't enough just to see the changes. I wanted to know what happened, why. So that I would suggest, go back and look at that screencast. It's not hard to do it all. Just type whatever your affirmation, and basically what I had learned was you do want to have the am now in your statement. I, your name, am or am now, and then put your affirmation. And then what I believe very, very much is always to add whatever you're most comfortable with, I add in a perfect and correct way. Or, whatever, highest good for all, etc. I'll tell you a quick story, maybe a repeat, but I have a very dear friend. We've been friends now, since we were 17 years old. I'm not going to tell you how many years that friendship is, but I told her about this when I first realized the power of it, and she was single, and shortly thereafter, she got involved in an affair with a married man that just broke her heart. It was terrible. And many years later, I mentioned affirmations again, and she said, "Oh, no, you don't." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "That's how I got so-and-so." I said, "Well, what's your right?" She wrote, "I," and then her name, "now have a husband." Well, she got somebody's husband. There's something to think about there. So if you add the perfect and correct or highest good for all, it's probably crucial. But there could be great power to working with our SRC for that, especially if we start incorporating some of these codes related to the Moses information.
I love that story because when I was learning how to manifest, I would always leave something out. So when it manifested, I was like, I forgot that. So when I met you and Maureen, it was for your highest and best in a perfect and correct way. And I was like, yeah. And Marty Joe has one too. And I'm like, yeah. And so when I remember Marty Joe's, I use hers. But I've drilled it into my brain in a perfect and correct way for my highest and best.
Love it. So anyway, let's just see where we are today. Well, we're actually wanting a little manual control for starters. Eight hours with one repeat. And so it looks like that's it for today. And you all have a good day.
Thank you, Cathy.
That was great, Cathy. Thank you.
Thank you, Cathy.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for attending. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.